Good evening, everybody. My name is Vivian Chen. I'm the admission officer here at Pythagoras Academy. Welcome everyone to join this virtual information session. Although we are not present together at the time because of the COVID situation, we'd rather have you here in person, but hopefully this will be the next best option in terms of giving you a feel of what primary to middle school education looks like. Today, we are so grateful to have our interim head of school, Mr. Michael Bouchard, vice principal, also the grade 1 teacher, and the team lead, Mrs. Michelle Dahl, our business manager, Miss Linda Yan, also one of our beautiful moms, Sunem. Also, our amazing grade 7 students, Ariana Tejada, here to join us. Parents are welcome to scan the QR code here on the screen to subscribe the school WeChat account to read articles. So Pythagoras Academy for students at age 5 to 14 can be a life-changing experience because of our school culture and the innovative school programs. For the webinar agenda, this is the agenda for today. You have the opportunity to type the question down below in the Q&A session. We will answer the questions at the end of in the middle of the session and also at the end of the session. You can also type in Mandarin. We will translate your question to English. Right now, I would like to play the school video. Please enjoy our school videos.
We don't just want to teach the students, we want to promote their ideas, their initiative. We have to take them seriously. This is their initiative, and I believe children need to grow up with a sense that they can pursue what they're interested in. At Pythagoras Academy, students come through the door, we're looking in their eyes, we're encouraging them to look at us. They're seen, they know we value them, they see the excitement in our face to see them. In all our lessons, we're building content, we're building skills, but once those are built, it's very important that students know how to apply these skills to the real world. Because in real life, there is no math problem by itself. There is no social studies problem by itself.
Welcome to our school.
The leadership starts with the view that the teachers have of the children. So we see children as powerful thinkers, as problem solvers. We are always thinking and rethinking our use of technology. I'm so impressed by the way the students can explain complex ideas or concepts. I find it inspiring. Students are engaged. Each lesson, when I enter a classroom, I'm looking how many kids are on task. How many kids are happy to be learning? And often I see hands-on learning when I'm seeing this joy for learning.
I love to go to school because every day I get to learn interesting ideas that I can apply to different subjects and projects.
I'd say that this is the best school ever because I have a lot of friends and I really like the lunch.
When it was my first time to this school, I was really nervous, but I quickly made a lot of friends in the school.
And that it's not what's on the outside, but what's on the inside that counts.
My favorite memory was probably Beauty and the Beast because we got to work, all different grades got to work together.
When we work together and we put our heads together, we come up with something big and amazing.
A musical theater teacher will meet with our social studies teachers or our math teachers, and they'll look for the way that these subjects areas combine, how the concepts combine. Problems are mixed, they're complex, they cross disciplines. So our students face these same kind of challenges every day.
Our current school is a junior kindergarten to grade 8 facility.
Due to increasing enrollment, we are planning for the future. We are designing and constructing a junior kindergarten to grade 12 school in Richmond for 900 students. Our school will have classrooms with innovative design features, a full-size theater, 2 gymnasiums, a regulation-sized soccer field, and an abundance of outdoor play space. All of this is situated on a spacious 10-acre campus. We invite you to discover our school.
Right. Thank you for the video. Now I will introduce you to our Vice Principal of Students Life, Mrs. Michelle Dahl, to talk more about our kindergarten programs. Michelle?
Hello, everyone. Everyone can hear me well? Yes?
Yes.
All right. So I am a former kindergarten teacher. This year I'm teaching grade 1 at the school. And I want to share with you how our kindergarten program is really unique and special. So next slide, Vivian. So we teach all of the BC subjects in our program. The math in kindergarten is integrated into all of the activities that we do, and it's very hands-on. So we use real materials to explore real life problems, and the children learn through games and experimentation. They have lots of fun using their imaginations to reinforce all the basic skills that they need to know. And you can see here in the pictures that they're working to learn about patterns, they're working on their 10 frames, but they're doing it all in a way that feels like they're playing, which keeps them engaged. Next slide. Our science and our social studies activities are really led by the children's passions. They tell us what they're most interested in exploring and discovering. And those are the paths that we take as we teach them the core big ideas that they need to know. There's lots of experimentation, there's lots of exploration and research, and it's more engaging because the children are learning about topics that they are interested in. Next slide, please, Vivian. This year, we're excited to begin using something called our Wonder Wagon. We have 2 of them in the school, one that's being used by the kindergartens and another by the grade 1s. And we've stocked this wagon thanks to our parent advisory, Pythagoras Academy parent organization, with all of the things we need to take our learning outside. So any subject can be taken outside. We've got sit spots, we've got clipboards, we've got magnifying glasses and tweezers so that the children can connect their learning to our outdoor space and to the natural world, and to encourage them to learn about their place in our community. And it really sparks their creativity. Thanks. We teach literacy in kindergarten through a combination of individual instruction based on their needs, small group guided reading, as well as large group and self-guided exploration. We use the Fun Family Phonics program, which starts in junior kindergarten, and they continue using it up through grade 1. So there's a continuum. They're familiar with the program, as well as Handwriting Without Tears. And we introduced the Write Traits program so they can learn about the qualities of good writing and storytelling. Next slide, please. This year, we're excited to have opened our story studio. This is a really unique, special space in our school, full of light and natural loose parts, where the children can use their imaginations to express and create stories that are special to them. And this helps them expand their vocabulary, They learn to use their public speaking and their presentation skills, as well as to express their own personal culture and identity. This is a wonderful opportunity for them to learn through hands-on activities. And it also combines written and oral storytelling traditions from many different cultures. And finally, we have lots of specialist classes at our school. We have musical theater, music, French, information technology, PE, and art. And all of these specialist subjects are taught by teachers who have education and specializations in these subjects. And they work together with the homeroom teachers to make sure that it's all integrated together. And these disciplines are integrated in a meaningful way with the BC curriculum. So it's a really exciting program. Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you, Mrs. Stoll. Our school is well known as our strong academic subjects. On top of those main subjects, we also offer a variety of specialist courses. Due to the limit of time, we will only showcase our IT education, musical theater program, and our story studio today. And if you have any question, please type it in the Q&A session. And let me play the video for you. So the first video will be our IT teacher to introduce a little bit about our IT programs. I hope you enjoy it.
I'm here with Ms. Bichovska, our information technology coordinator and teacher, and she's going to tell us about our IT program.
Hi, welcome to my classroom. I teach starting from junior kindergarten, so little kids from 4 years old all the way to grade 8 at this school, and I really enjoy what I do. So let me show you around and just explain what we are doing here in my classroom. Starting with little children, I do a lot of offline coding, meaning we do a lot of different toys. For example, this one is a Cubetto, and one of the lessons that I love to start is we are sending Cubetto to school. Let me help him. How are we going to program Cubetto to go to different places in order to make it to school? Let me show you. Okay, so using different buttons, children are able to program Cubetto to go forward and then turn. And using the board, here we go. And that's how Cubetto escapes the water. We also have a lot of different cute bee-bots that children in younger grades like to program as well, and we have the whole classroom set up where they have different mats and they have to program little bots to go into different directions. And again, this is a great way to start with offline coding. And let me show you how this little boy works. Here we go. And he made it to the store. In grades 4 and up, we also introduced them with more complex Lego Mindstorms kits, EV3s in this example here, and we teach students how to program, how to build a robot, how to program it, how to use sensors, and yeah, so here's a great example of one of the robots created by a grade 4 student. Our school is also spending a lot of time working with children after school in order to create teams for participation in FOL competitions. So this year we are very proud. We have 2 teams that actually won very prestigious awards in a championship that was held in Victoria. And this is one of the teams that were able to perform so nicely, and they had such an amazing cooperation and team spirit that they were able to get a 2nd place in a championship. which is the first British Columbia Championship that was held here in Victoria. Now, another great example for junior Lego teams is also part of first competition for junior Lego robotics, and this is from a couple of years ago, our Mission Moon project that won an award, and we were able to go to Houston to showcase it. That was a really great way for students to cooperate, to work together, and also win multiple awards. During our applied design skills and technologies classes that are starting from grade 6 and up, we learn with students different ways how we can 3D print. And we are learning different programs. One of them is Tinkercad. So here a great example of a keychain project that a student had to design all by himself and then test it by printing it as a first version, seeing if the project comes out really nicely, or maybe he needs to tinker it and change it and make it even better. We can see how his project is coming to life, and it started to look a lot like that project that he designed. When we 3D print, we also do a lot of troubleshooting and a lot of tinkering of our designs. For example, this is a great example where positioning the project incorrectly actually was not very successful idea. So then when we created more support and stood it up, you can see that it comes out a way better than it came out here. So it's a great way for students to design, to be creative, and then test it, and then see if your design works or if you need to change it and apply more thinking to it and just tinker it and make it better. So those are some examples here that we do. So lots of fun things with 3D print.
I'm here with Miss Swords, and she's going to tell us more about our musical theatre program.
Okay, so musical theatre at Pythagoras Academy, the best subject ever. Singing, dance and drama are the key elements to musical theatre. The students learn singing from me, dance and drama as key skills, but also how to work as an ensemble and solo pieces as well. At the end of every unit, they build towards an end of unit performance, and also the whole school production. This year we performed Mary Poppins Jr. at the Gateway Theatre with costumes, set design, props. This program really offers the children a chance to build their confidence, their social skills, their teamwork, and social and their personal responsibility as well.
Thank you, Ms. Swords.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. When Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice. He can whip what he likes. I recall this harvest school. He had to pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two. Boys, you've got to pick a pocket or two. Stop, thief! We can be like Owen Sykes. You can pick a pocket or two. Dear old gent, passing by, something nice takes his eye. Everything's there.
Ms. Dahl's going to talk to us about Story Studios, which is a new concept in our school. And because it was the idea of Ms. Dahl's K1 team, she's here to tell us more about Story Studios.
Okay. So earlier in the year, we met with a consultant and we visited a school in Vancouver that had a beautiful story studio like this with glass windows, natural furniture, so that the learning that's happening inside can be brought outside and that visitors to the school can see what the children are doing. And the concept of Story Studio is to use natural materials such as wooden people, objects that can be used for multiple purposes, and it inspires the children's imaginations so that they can create stories and share them orally and in written form. And the benefits of doing that is that the children can improve their English skills. They can also improve their storytelling and learn about the different aspects of writing, which is central to our writing program here. And it also encourages the children to handle materials that are natural, that come from nature. And many of these materials are delicate, they're easily breakable, and the children learn to respect these materials and to treat them with care and to look after this space as something that they use with care and with joy.
So Frank, I'm here with you in the Story Studio, and I know you did one session in the Story Studio, and this is your second time. Is that right? This is your second time in the Story Studio?
Yes.
Can you tell me the story that you created with these found materials?
Okay. So these two are 5, and they're searching for treasure in a cave, which they haven't found yet. And one of the people is finding it on a rock, and another one is finding it on a twig, but they haven't looked inside and the treasure's inside.
I'm here with Angela, and she's also in grade 1 from Miss Ho's class. And Angela, can you tell your story that you've created here in the Story Studio?
Okay. This is me and this is Frank, and we want to find some treasures, but we want to first slide down the slide. Then we pick some flowers. Then we will find some treasures. And we found 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Then we want to share the treasures. And I got 1 and he got 1, and I got 1, and I got 1, and this one, we want to put it back.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
We are so fortunate to have our PAPO, Parents Organization, to help fundraising for such a beautiful and meaningful story studio. We are also very grateful to have one of the best leaders here at Pythagoras Academy. I would like to introduce Mr. Michael Bouchard to talk more about what makes our school unique. He has more than 30 years of experience in education. Mr. Bouchard?
Thank you, Vivian. Thanks everyone for being with us this evening. There's a couple things that make us unique, but almost all schools have high academic standards as kind of like a stated part of what's core to their school. So that would be true of our school. But even though we have those high standards, we don't want the children to feel a huge pressure around those standards. We want them to reach those standards by investigating, by being fully engaged, by enjoying their learning, so that they don't even notice how high our standards are.
So that's kind of makes us a little bit unique in how dedicated we are to making learning engaging. A second factor in our school that's really important is the kindness and patience of the teachers. Young children, particularly children entering kindergarten, need lots of reminders. They need someone they know that cares about them, that believes in them, and will kind of coach them along the way happily and really engaged with them. This creates safety for students, and when students feel safe, they tend to take more risks, and when they take more risks, they learn at a faster pace. So really creating that safety, particularly for the youngest children in the school, is so important to us at Pythagoras Academy. The thing that we do the best of all, I think, is to keep that natural curiosity that children have. When children are very young, they're tested in schools on levels of creativity, and the kindergarten students usually test at a genius level in terms of their creativity. Then in most schools, if you test those same children after they grow up in grade 9 or grade 12, their creativity scores are much lower. And so we really have to ask, what are schools doing? Why can't the grade 12s have really high creative scores like the kindergarten kids? And so I think they can, but only if the program is full of wonder. And you saw the wonder wagons that Ms. Dahl was showing you, as well as the story studio. So yes, those children are telling a creative story, but later they'll craft that, they'll write that story. And so their academic writing program is actually coming from a really engaged place where the children's really using their imaginations. Besides the Wonder Wagons and the Story Studio, we're about to build an outdoor classroom so that children can stay out a little longer outside. It's healthier for them. And as well, they can have a closer connection to nature and keep that wondering and investigating going in the outdoors. We have a couple other programs that we're enhancing this year. One is in language arts, we're going to take a step up in our public speaking program, getting kids ready for the real world of interviews or leadership. And so they're going to have a well-crafted program that's kind of a step above the BC curriculum in public speaking. And then we're just starting on our plans for GarageBand, which is an electronic musical composing software. So children will be writing more songs. So again, a lot of that's based on really promoting wonder and creativity as they learn and reach towards these high academic standards. One of the ways we're able to do all this, I think a little better than other schools, is because of the hiring process, so the staff that we attract, and then the professional development. So we invest heavily in professional development. And one of the ways the Story Studio was developed was through interactions between the kindergarten grade 1 team and one of our consultants that did the professional development for them. So that's a key ingredient at Pythagoras Academy, is our professional development. And with that, I think, Vivian, is this a good time to take a break for some questions?
Thank you, Mr. Bouchard, for giving us the idea of the school and the different attributes that we had to offer. So right now I see some questions that we received in our Q&A session. So the first question I received here is, so how happy are you with how the school has handled the school's safety while COVID has been going on? So this is the first question that I received from our parents here.
Okay, so maybe we'll have Sunan. Would you kind of give your impression as a parent? What are your thoughts on the health and safety plan at Pythagoras Academy? And you have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So when we first went into the lockdown in, was it March or April, I was really impressed with how quickly the school was able to turn around an online program, and it was organized, and I didn't have to spend my entire day teaching my daughter. So I was really impressed again with just how quickly you guys were able to get that program in place and keep teaching the kids while we couldn't bring them to school. And since they've been back, I know there's been cohorts, so I ask Sienna all the time about, what's that like? And, it's great for her because she's still around all her peers. She still is, loving going to school. She still gets that interaction with other children, which I think is so important and was something that we were missing during the shutdown. But it's done in a very safe way. So they're only interacting with, their specific cohort. And so far, nobody's got sick in our household.
Thank you.
Sienna.
So I have another question here from one of the parents attending the webinar today. So the question is, what makes your program better than the learning program at the other schools?
Okay, so maybe Ms. Dahl, do you want to answer that one?
I'll unmute, there we go. Well, first off, we have really small class sizes. In kindergarten, the ratio is 13 children to 1 kindergarten teacher, and frequently the class is even 12, which is pretty amazing. So each child gets more individualized attention, and the learning activities that the teachers plan can be adapted individually for each child's needs when there aren't as many children. Because of the smaller class sizes, the teachers are able to go further into the subjects and introduce more challenging skills to their students, which helps them succeed and go further, exceed many of the kindergarten learning standards. So I think our kindergartens enter grade 1 way beyond the basic expectations for a kindergarten student. As I said before, they have lots of specialist subjects. They get Mandarin in school in kindergarten. They're learning French, which isn't introduced until I think grade 4 in many other schools. And they have specialist teachers teaching them musical theater and PE. I think that something that makes us really special is that we're working hard to integrate the subjects. So we don't teach language arts all by itself and math all by itself and science. We integrate it all together so that they're exploring the real world and they're inquiring about things that they see happening. And while they're doing that, they're learning the subjects all at the same time. It makes it much more meaningful. So yeah, I'm proud of our program.
Thank you, Mrs. Dole. I have another question here in our question and answer session. So what are the qualities of the students does the school looking for?
So I can answer that question. We do assessments for our students before they enter into the school. One of the things that we're looking for is just the simple ability to collaborate with others. So to play beside them, to listen to their ideas and to play together in harmony. Now, for 4-year-olds, that's not going to happen in a way that's perfect. We understand that they still need reminders from parents, reminders from teachers around sharing or around waiting their turn or things like that. But we are looking for some social skills already built in with the children, and as well some English skills. So sometimes in junior kindergarten, we would accept children that have very, very limited English. But then as children get older, we are looking for accepting students that have developed some English skills. That doesn't mean they have to be perfect English, but just that they have some English skills on the way. So hopefully that answers your question. That's a great question.
Thank you, Mr. Bouchard. I have one more question here, and our parents are welcome to type more questions. We also have another session in the end of this webinar that we will be answering more questions. So this is the question, what is the deadline for kindergarten application? So Michael, I think I can answer this question and you can comment on it. So for our application for the next school year, we plan to receive all the application by the end of January next year. And the application actually start this week. So later I will showcase everyone how can you apply online. It's actually very simple. So we plan to have the evaluation next year in February. So we do plan to receive the application in the end of next year, January. So if parents are interested to apply for next September, I will strongly suggest you to send the application. Starting from now, you can start to prepare the materials and the required documents and then submit the application. And then we will contact you for the evaluation next year in the end of January. Michael, do you want to add any comments or do you have any points that you want to share at the moment?
No, that was perfect, Vivian.
Okay, perfect. And should we continue our webinar and then save some questions for the end, or do you want to answer one more question?
Let's keep flowing through the rest of the presentation.
Sounds good. So now I would like to introduce one of our PAPL moms to everyone. So PAPL stands for Pythagoras Academy Parents Organization. So Brandy is one of our PAPL moms. So she would like to share her experience with you. We are very fortunate to have our PAPL organization to help fundraising lots of projects such as our students' iPads, 3D printers, robotic kits, and our story studios and more. So right now, let's get ready to hear what Brandy would like to share with you.
Hello everyone, welcome to our school's information section. My name is Brandy. I'm a parent and the current co-chair of the PAPL executive here in Pythagoras Academic. It's my pleasure to share my experience with all of you. I have two kids starting in Pythagoras Academic, Jamie, who is in grade 4, and Julie, who is in grade 2. We have been part of the Pythagoras Academic community for 4 years. Our families love being part of PA for so many reasons. PA has many advanced aspects, both in hardware and software. We have our exclusive computer lab, enchanting story studio, wonderful learning commons. What impressed me most is the Seesaw system. Every day, we receive Seesaw updates with kids' activities from school. It could be photos of their class, their work, their playing, their recess, their happiness. Even though we are physically not in school, sometimes my husband goes on business trip, but we feel we are always with our children. It always gives us peace of mind, knowing what they are doing. Every semester, students will have a team project. We receive their project updates on Seesaw every week. They are brainstorming their ideas, their draft, then a better draft. Finally, a poster and a team presentation about the project. Just like you are there witnessing what they are doing in the classroom. In these projects, students not only improve their research skills, but also give them more confidence to speak in public. They learn how to work as a group and also how to work individually. They feel very accomplished after all the hard work they have done. We are very proud of them. Thanks to their teachers and Seesaw updates, Seesaw makes parents and teachers' communication more accessible. We can easily notice every update via app on our phone, and we receive email notifications as well. We are proud Pythagoras Academic parents because we have the strong organization called the Pythagoras Academic Parent Organization. Each and every parent in PA are part of this group. To create a better place for all our children in PA, we hold fundraising events to support school. Some of the events are Breakfast with Santa, the Gala Dinner, Chinese New Year celebration, summer fair, etc. Our whole community enjoys these events very much. The funds we raise during these events give our students more opportunities to excel by providing them with extra materials or equipment for their learning. One example I can share is the new story studio that PA sponsored from the previous gala. It is a place where younger students can explore and develop their own stories with loose parts and art materials. And later in the school year, PA will have outdoor classrooms to support our children in exploring more outdoor activities. Thank you for your time. I hope these several minutes spent with all of you sharing my experience in PA helps you realize what a wonderful place Pythagoras Academic is. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in PA. I can't wait to explore the PA future with all of you.
Thank you, Pepple Mom. In order to make our parents and the school connect and communicate very well, we are working very hard as a team. The team members are students, parents, and our staff. Now I would like to introduce Mrs. Linda. She is the business manager at Pythagoras Academy. She's going to share the tools and the methods that we offer to make it very easy for parents to connect with us.
Evening, everybody. My name is Linda Yan. It's my pleasure to be able to share tonight. I'm not only a staff in Pythagoras Academy, I'm also a parent of a grade 5 student, Megan, my daughter, and she's been enrolled for 3 years. Today, my topic is how do we make parents' life easier? Because I'm both a parent and a staff here, so I totally understand what parents are looking for. The first part I want to share today is about communication. I believe all parents are looking for better communications from schools. At first, I want to emphasize that we have a great team. I have admin team under me, and we have different systems to support better communication. The first one I want to introduce is called ELMA. It's a student information system. We've been using this system for years. In this system, parent will be able to see the students' class schedule. This is my daughter's this year's class schedule. And you will be able to see their attendance. You can see it by yearly view or weekly view. And most important part is the report cards. Right now, we've been using ELMA to publish students' report cards for almost 3 years. And you will be able to see all the digital version report cards for each term in this system. We are really proud of our report cards. I'm going to show a sample of my daughter's report card for term 2 in grade 5. In this picture, you will be able to see this is a PDF document. There are 14 pages in total. If you print it out, it will be 14 pages document letter size. So it's very detailed. You will be able to see all the parents, each of them sharing comments. This is English language art skills and teachers comment. This is musical theater. How detailed you will be able to see on the comment area. And this is a visual arts teacher. And more important is, as a parent, after reading a really long report card, you will be able, you will ask a question, what can we do to help our kids? And at the end of this report card, there's a section called Next Steps for Improvement with very detailed suggestions for parents to help their children. And the second system is Seesaw. As Brandy has mentioned in her video, Seesaw is a student online portfolio system. As a parent, once you logged in, you'll be able to receive pictures and videos from homeroom teachers or different teachers on a weekly or daily basis. I'm showing you a couple of examples. This is the journals I've been collecting for Megan. You will be able to see grade 2, 3, 4, and 5. You will be able to view all those projects, pictures, videos, and you will be able to save all of them for a long time. This is an example from, I think it's from an IT teacher. They're having IT projects on IT class. That's a video. And this is for musical theater. And I want to show you a video. That's a 1-minute video from grade 5 science teacher. That's from Seesaw. That's the video I download from Seesaw as a parent.
So let's try this. Megan, did you make photos? Let's try this. Look at it Crossbuns, hot crossbuns. Or nothing. It's okay. Nice, you're using your tone. Megan, do you want to try it? Because like there's some other makey-makeys we can try. The A and D. Why don't I borrow this makey-makey? Megan. And we have no. Do you guys know that song? No. Oh, we can. You have to hold it. Oh, is it going through my body good enough? It is. Oh, I got it. Wait, I think you have to like. Wait. This is the best thing we've done.
Seesaw and Elma are systems to support parents to know more details about students' life. And speaking about the communication, right now in our school, we are using WeChat and email systems for notices. And all of them are bilingual with English and Chinese. I'm attaching some samples for you to see our notices. And we are using a WeChat platform to send notices in a WeChat group. You will be able to see there are 278 parents currently in this WeChat group. And speaking about the language, if you are still learning English, and as an office staff, we would help some of the parents to translate with teachers if you want to communicate for a parent-teachers conference. Talking about how do we make parents' life easier, over the years, I've been receiving feedbacks from parents. They really like the way we are handling with payment. Right now, we are offering checks, Alipay and WeChat Pay for parents to be able to pay for the tuition fees and school fees. For a lot of parents, they do think it's really helpful with the flexibility. And the next part, I want to talk about food, which is really important for a lot of parents. In our school, we are helping the parents with snacks and lunch. We are offering nutritious snacks served every morning, and we have a hot lunch program. Showing some of the pictures of our morning snacks. And these are the warmers for our hot lunch. And all lunch are packed separately. So for parents, you don't need to worry about packing lunch every morning and snacks. And the last part I want to share, is about how clean our school is. We do have a great janitors team. They are cleaning our school 2 times a day. And for some areas, they're cleaning and sanitizing 4 times a day. And we have Victory electrostatic sprayer in our school. We're using this every day. And you will be able to see hand sanitizer dispensers everywhere. And that's all for my part. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Linda, for such a detailed information. So the possibilities are here for your children. We really incredibly are proud of what we offer here at Pythagoras Academy. Also our efficient communication here. We want to make sure that parents are well taken care of. Now, I'm going to share one of the best parts of our school. We are so fortunate to have our students really eager to learn and commit to learning. Right now, I'm going to introduce one of our grade 7 students, Ariana, to have a speech with you.
So today I'm going to be talking about what I enjoy most about Pythagoras Academy. In Pythagoras Academy, there are different parts to the school. As you can see, the gymnasiums, musical theater. The parts that I enjoy most would be the classrooms, with Miss Billy and Miss MC, for math and science and writing. So in writing, I enjoy how I fixed my punctuation and grammar. Before I came to this school, I wasn't really that great with my punctuation, grammar, and spelling. But after I spent some time here in the classrooms, the teachers have been helping me to develop more and more standards and to help me evolve on the different bases that they have here. Many of the older students, they treat the younger students very kind. So if there's a younger student that is injured or needs help, the older students, they would care. They would go find a teacher, try comforting the student to make sure everything's okay, to calm them down, nothing's wrong, you're gonna be fine. And they always there's not one time that an older student wouldn't be there for a younger student. Out of all these days that I've had here, every time I've seen everyone so kind and generous to each other. They all show such respect to each other. There's not one time that they don't care for one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Ariana, for sharing your real experience at Pythagoras Academy with us. So right now it's my part. So next page. So I am Vivian Chang, a lucky lady who got to work in the admissions office at Pythagoras Academy. Some of you might already know me, as normally I will lead a tour with Mr. Bouchard in the school, every month in the past. And today I'm going to share with you some admissions process. So I specifically focus on the recruitment of JK to grade 8 students. I am aware that some of you who may be listening today may be in the process already. Some of you are out there to consider and review the possibilities here for your children. So the good thing about our school is we are really located in the center of Richmond. So very easy to access and very high demand and high quality school. So right now you can see the flow chart about the admissions process. So parents are able to submit the application online. So this is the first year that we develop an online tool for parents to apply because of the high demands of the application every year. So we realized that online tool would be more efficient for parents to submit the application. So after parents collect all the required documents and fill out the application online and pay the application fee, which is $300 for local students and $500 for international students, then you will receive a confirmation email to show you that the first step of the application is completed. And then we will contact you in the end of January next year to schedule the evaluation. So normally the evaluation will be conducted in the February. So after the evaluation, it takes about 1 to 2 weeks for us to review the file and the exam. And then we will let you know the final decision probably in the early March to May. And then parents will be able to make the decision to see if you would like to enroll your child to Pythagoras Academy. So right now I'm going to guide you through this application process. It's actually very simple. So I'm going to share my screen with you. If you have any question, please feel free to leave the question in the Q&A session below, and I will answer those questions related to admissions process. So right now, can everyone see my screen here? So when you type www.pythagorasacademy.ca, you will be able to access to our school official website. There are lots of useful information over here. So on top of the bar, you will be able to see a section called admission. So there are some information there for you to review, like the process, the tuition fee, and some other reminders. So when you click apply now, it will guide you to the online application page. And then there are the checklists for international students and local students. After you prepare all of those required documents, you can basically just click the link here to apply. So for example, so right now I'm here on the online application page. So parents just need to fill out all the information and then upload the picture and the documents that we ask parents to do. And then after that, you will receive a notification email to make the payment. So you can pay the application fee by submitting the check or cash to the front office, or you can also scan the QR code that you will receive in your notification email, and then you can make the payment by your WeChat account. And then we will send you a final confirmation of all the application stage is completed. Then you can just relax and wait for next January that we contact you for the evaluation. So basically, this is the process about the application. That if you are interested to enroll your child to our school next September, so you will be able to apply tonight or next week when you are ready to have all the required documents. Okay. So right now will be our another Q&A session. I do receive some question here. So the first question I receive here is, what program has the school made for students that have been staying at home during the COVID situation?
So let's see. Sunan, is Sienna in the transition program at home? Do you know, are you able to answer some about the program that she's received?
She went back to school, so she's not in the transitional program, but the program that, I'm sure it's the same as the one that we did earlier in the year. It was really well organized. We'd log in every morning, 10 minutes before school would start. It would all be laid out, all the different classes, what time, what they would need. So her and I would go through it. We'd make sure she had all the supplies she needed. And then from there on, I kind of just let her be, and the teachers would guide her through the whole day. And it was really well done. Again, the programs that you guys have like Seesaw make it like, even it's great when they're in class because you can observe what they're doing, but even when they were working, from home, it was a really easy way to submit all the documents, to easily see when the teacher had reviewed them, if there was any changes that need to be made. It was all done through that app. So again, that was a really helpful tool during that program.
Thanks.
Thank you, Sunan.
And Sunan, I want to compliment you for being so organized. You got your Christmas tree up in the background.
Just not today.
And I want to say hi to Sienna. Hi, Sienna. I see another question, Miss Vivian. This one maybe is for Ariana. How easy is it for new students to make friends at PA?
Well, when new students come in, everyone welcomes them. Like, it's like they've been here before. And like, whenever a new student joins us, it's always like different for them, because they're like, I don't really know anyone. But there's most of the time, there's a lot of like different children and students that would go up to them. They're like, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Ariana. I hope that you enjoy your stay here. I would like to be your friend. And they would always like care for each other. Like, there's not like one time like that nobody like doesn't like introduce themselves or like express their feelings, like how they feel about them.
Thanks, Ariana. Are there other questions, Miss Vivian?
Yeah, I also received one question. Are you happy about the communication between the school and you? I think this will be the question related to like a parents who want to ask our current parents their real experience with us. So maybe Sunan can help to answer this question. Are you happy about the communication?
I am. So again, there's so many different ways that communication happens. There's the regular communication that happens via email on upcoming events, and they're always well detailed. They're in both languages, and there's plenty of time given on those. Then there's the communication that can happen again through the Seesaw app for more kind of day-to-day communication. And then whenever if there's anything that comes up, I can always just call the school. Vivian knows everybody, all the parents, and it's almost like a family. Like, everything is taken care of. That they've got your back, and I've never had any type of communication issue. And even Mr. Bouchard, anytime any issue has been raised, he's always taken it very seriously. Always made me feel like I was heard, and the follow-up has always been there. So the communication has never been an issue. It's great there.
Thank you, Sunan. I just received one more question for you. I think our parents today are very interested in Sunan. So Sunan, this is a question for you again. Why did you choose Pythagoras Academy?
The reason I picked private school over public school was primarily for the class sizes. There's 12 kids, I think, in Sienna's class, and there's 2 classes in her grade. So you guys could have put it together and made a class of 24, which is typical for most schools. But the choice to create 2 separate classes, to me, showed that the focus of the school is to give kids the most attention, and the best chance, when they're getting that kind of direct one-on-one contact. Another, thing that stood out to me as well is that I find that academics are fairly simple these days. All schools focus on it, but it's developing the child's, confidence, ability to communicate that really stood out to me. So programs like the musical theater one, where, kids are encouraged to stand up on a stage and sing and dance in front of, an audience. I mean, those are tremendous skills for later on in life if you're going into business. Most parents would have a hard time getting up in front of the school and, presenting. So those are the type of kind of, the social skills or the EQ instead of the IQ skills that I think a lot of schools haven't focused on. And I think in today's world, those are the ones that are going to, they're the difference between whether you're going to be employee or you're going to be a boss. And so those are the skills that really stand out to me.
Thank you, Sunan. And I have one more question here that I just received regarding how do we teach social emotional skills? Maybe we can have Mrs. Dole to answer this question.
Hi. So what most of the teachers do is that they encourage the children to solve their problems and support them during role plays, during play-based activities where they are encountering those problems together when they're interacting with each other. If there's this problem going on, the teachers will encourage the children to think about how they would feel in the other person's shoes, to develop empathy and understanding for everyone's point of view so that they can think about how people feel in a similar situation. We also teach the Second Step program in our classes, where we have lessons that we can direct specifically to issues as they arise to help the children develop those social emotional skills.
Thank you, Mrs. Dole. And again, parents are welcome to type your question down below. We have lots of questions coming up here, but we will be answering all of those questions. So the next question I received here is what help is available if students are still learning English as a second language?
I can answer that one, Vivian.
Okay.
So we have something called a Success Center in the school. We have 2 full-time teachers that work in the Success Center, and their role is both to challenge students. So if a student's well ahead in mathematics, then they'll be giving them extra math challenges. And if they're a little bit, they need a little bit of extra support, let's say with phonics and learning to read, then they'll have some extra time in the Success Center. Sometimes the Success Center teachers will go into the classroom and support the child while they're learning in class. And other times they will work with the child one-on-one or one-on-two or one-on-4 in the Success Center. And we want every child to be successful.
Thank you, Mr. Bouchard. Next question here is, what current initiatives is the school implementing? Maybe Mr. Bouchard can help with this question.
Sure. So we already talked about the story studio. I think it was mentioned the outdoor classroom that we're building. So we'll have a couple areas in the outdoor classroom. There'll be picnic tables under an area that already has kind of like an outdoor roof. We'll be constructing a special roof and kind of seating area further out from the school as well. And then we want to have an area where that's not covered, where there's just kind of seating either on logs or stones, so that there's plenty of space to take kids outside for learning. And as well, there's things called outdoor easels so that they can be painting outdoors as well. So that's 2 of the initiatives. Again, I talked already about the public speaking through all the grade levels, having an enhanced curriculum in that area. And then moving into composing songs is another initiative that we're doing. But some of our initiatives don't sound as exciting. Like we just have like the best expert in writing in Canada that is visiting our school 4 times to train our staff in writing. So maybe parents don't get overexcited about that and they like the outdoor classroom. But I love the fact that we've managed to attract this person's attention because they're sought after across Canada. So we're very fortunate to have Adrienne Gear work with our staff around our writing program this year, but previously she worked with us around our reading program. And there will be lots, but I think we'll move on to another question as well.
Thank you, Mr. Bouchard. Next question here is, how does the school maintain high academic standards? Maybe Mr. Bouchard can help with this question.
And if Ms. Dahl wants to chime in, she's welcome to. So some of it comes through professional development. So a lot of what goes on in a school starts with what's going on in the teacher's mind. How well does the teacher understand how to motivate students, how to connect with the student and create safety? How well do they technically understand what actually is good writing? Because when I was a kid, good writing was writing that was printed very neatly. And so kids weren't getting credit for their ideas that they were doing in the writing. There's nothing wrong with teaching neat printing, that's great. But kids also need credit for their word choice, their sentence fluency, not starting the sentence off with the same words each time, their ideas, and we call them triple scoop words, which is an Adrian Gear term, when children are selecting words that really grab their reader's attention versus tired words like good or it was a nice day. Those kinds of words are tired words. And so some of the high academic standards just come from understanding what is good writing, what is deep reading comprehension, what is powerful speaking. And then we want to play around with mathematics. We want to teach them the basic skills in math, and then we want to see how they're applying it. So high academic standards involved how is this learning being applied beyond what the teacher taught them, so that we're getting away from children just speaking back to the teacher the same words the teacher just spoke to them. So that would be memorization. We want to move away from that into the students being able to take in what the teacher's teaching and what they learn from their investigation, and then apply it and transform it into something new to show that they really understand it. And then they won't be forgetting that learning.
Thank you, Mr. Bouchard. The next question I received here is, what type of online learning programs or tool do you have? Maybe Mrs. Stoll can help with this learning question.
Well, the children, as you've heard already, use Seesaw to communicate. The older classes use their Google Classroom and their Chromebooks. Children have access to reading programs, Raz Kids and Reading A to Z, as well as reading books through Epic Books Online, which really makes it possible for the students who are participating in online learning to have lots of literature to read at home. There are math resources. We use the Mathletics online program to enhance children's math learning, as well as a French portal called AIM, where they can practice their French vocabulary, so parents don't need to be concerned about their own ability to help their children with their French skills at home. I'm trying to think if there's any more. Mr. Bouchard, you know if there's more?
Did you say Mathletics?
I did say Mathletics, yes.
And did you say Scratch, which is a program for coding?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, and we also use Lexia, which is an excellent phonics and vocabulary building program to encourage the children in their language arts skills in a fun way.
So Vivian, I'm seeing, thank you, Ms. Dahl. I'm seeing maybe this could be the last question, because we're getting now to about an hour and 15 minutes. So I want to be respectful of people's time.
Sure.
So it says, CC is saying, could you talk a little bit more specifically about the student evaluation? And I think that CC means the initial, the admissions evaluation.
Sure, maybe I can start with it, and then Mrs. Stoll can comment on it or add more points. So basically for K students, we evaluate them on if they can recognize the uppercase and lowercase of the letters, and some side words, like also the colors and the numbers. And we also see how they interact with other students as a group. But this year, because of the COVID, so we are not quite sure that if we will invite them to have the group evaluation this year. But basically for the previous year, normally that we will have the group evaluation, because we also want to see how they interact with others. And if they cannot come for the group evaluation, we invite them to join the class session. So we want to see how they play with other students as well. Mrs. Stoll, would you like to add more comments on this question?
Sure, I think as well as the basic academics that we check, the most important thing is that we have a conversation with the children to see how they behave, how they talk. Are they willing to leave their parents and take the risk to come with a teacher and try new things? And we also do a little bit of group teaching time where we read a story and see if they can sit at the carpet, take turns, raise their hand, and just be respectful of a learning environment. So it's a fun activity. Nobody's stressed. The children have a tiny little taste of being at kindergarten. and we get to see if they're ready.
Yeah, so that's the evaluation for kindergarten program. But if the students apply for higher grades, then we will evaluate them on English, reading, speaking, and math. And those are a little bit different and a little bit more difficult than our kindergarten programs. So we do accept students from each grade, from JK to grade 8. And right now, I just received some questions here. Mr. Bouchard, would you like to pick the question?
Sure. I know we said one more, but this one is kind of a great question that maybe parents are still thinking about. I know the students are in kindergarten, but this question is, what are the options? What options does a graduated student have for post-secondary education? And I know that's on parents' minds, and it's a good question. My daughter is at UBC in her first year, and I've kind of been able to kind of see where was she at in those younger grades. So I remember what she was like in grade 4. I remember what she was like in grade 7. And so it's easy for me to see that the complexity of our program, how engaging it is to the children and how they have to do critical thinking. Those are all skills that universities are very interested in, and high school subjects involve a lot of critical thinking, a lot of writing skills. So our students would be on track for getting into post-secondary educations of their choice. Now, that also depends, we're right up to grade 8, so it would depend where you would go in grade 9, 10, and 11, 12. They'd have to continue kind of similar good work that Pythagoras Academy has done. But in terms of writing and mathematics and critical thinking, the students are on track for having lots of choice in their post-secondary education. And I see Sienna nodding like she can't wait to get to Harvard maybe there. And Ariana too. They'll be ready to take on the world for sure, with the effort they're putting in.
All right, so thank you, Mr. Bouchard. So we do still have more questions, but parents are feel free to write us an email at info@pythagorasacademy.ca or admissions@pythagorasacademy.ca. We will be able to answering your individual questions via the email. We are now also doing the school tour. You can also write us the email or give us a call. I will be able to show you around in person after school. When we don't have any students in the school, then I can take you to take a look of our classroom and show you our curriculums. So again, thank you everyone for participating in such a wonderful event with us. We do feel very grateful to have all of you here to spend your time to talk to us. So Michael, do you have any other comments that you want to share, or we will wrap up here?
I appreciate all the students that came, Sienna and Ariana. Thank you, Ms. Dahl, for your time. And thank you, Linda and Vivian, and all the parents that attended. It's great to be able to share our school with you, and we hope to connect with you soon. Take care, everyone.